Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. Before we go into today's video, I would love to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share this video with your soul friends. On today's video, we'll be cutting this kimono gown with fringe. So guys, let's get into it. Okay, so now the first thing we do, we get the length of the gown. I'll place my material from the beginning of the fabric. Here, I'll come down by 10 inches. This will be my shoulder. I'll come down by 10 inches. This will be my sleeve opening. Then I'll get the shoulder to waist. Shoulder to waist I'm working with is 17 inches. I'll mark my 17 inches here. And I'll come down for the hip. The hip I'm working with is 26. So I'll mark my 26 inches here. I will adjust this fabric and mark the length of my gown. The length of the gown I'm working with is 42. The kimono gown, 42. I'll mark 42 here. Plus 2 inches for folding allowance, which is 44. I'll connect these lines together and adjust my fabric. So now after connecting the lines together, the next thing we have to do is to get the width of the neckline. The width I'm working with is 3 inches. I'll mark 3 inches for the width, and I'll come down by the depth by 3 inches. And see, so now because I'm cutting the front and back together, I would come down by 1 inches for the back neckline and mark. So I'll connect this neckline also together like this. Okay, so now after doing that, now we get the width of the shoulder. The width of the shoulder I'm working with is 7 inches, which is 14 inches. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7. I'll mark my 7 inches here. And the length of the sleeve is 10 inches. This sleeve will be having a turn up at the sleeve. So I'll just mark my 10 inches because I want to do this turn up on the sleeve. And I'll come down, I will check what I have on this shoulder here. I have 17.25. I'll mark my 17.25 on this armhole opening we have here, which is the where my hand will come out from. So I'll mark my 17.25 there. So I'll connect this with a straight line. Connect straight down. So now I'll be putting my bust measurement on this armhole opening we have here. So the bust I'm working with is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. So I'll mark my 9.5 here and add 1 inches for ease. Use my 1 inches for ease. Then I'll add 1 inches for seam allowance and mark here. So now I'll come down to my waist. The waist I'm working with is 30 inches. 30 divided by 4 will give me 7.5. So I'll mark my 7.5 here and mark 1 inches for ease, 1 inches for seam allowance. I'll come to the hip line also and I'll divide the hip. The hip I'm working with is 39. 39 divided by 4 will give me 9.75. So I'll drop my 9.75 here and add 1 inches for ease, 1 inches for seam allowance. So now I have 12 inches here. So I'll come down to the hem of this top and drop my 12 inches here also, like this. So now I'll just connect this with a straight line, straight down. From the hip to the hem, I connect with a straight line. Now I'll adjust this. Now we have to connect the waist to the bust. So we just connect like this to this line here. I'll connect this straight down like this. And from the hip to the waist, I'll connect like this. can see how it is. So I will just shaping this a bit like this. This is how it looks, but I want to add 1 inches. When I'm sewing this cloth, I'll be sewing this way, but because I want to add 1 inches to this to just give it that shape, so now I'll connect 1 inches more. Then I'll mark this like this. Then we still connect this like this to the hip, to the waist. So you can see now the difference. This is where I'll be sewing from, but I just want this allowance to be inside, should in case the client wants it to be a bit free. Next thing we have to do is we can't leave this place straight like this. We give it that armhole curve. So I'll use my French hole to give it that curve. So you can see how it is. So now when I'm cutting, I'll cut from this armhole here. So now I'm done with the cutting. Next we have to do now is to cut the neckline. So I'll be cutting the front neckline first. I've cut out the front neckline. I'll come down by 4 inches for the opening that we have at the front, so it will be easier to put on. See, I've slit this open. Then now for the back neckline, I came down by 1 inches for the back neckline. So I'll just cut this out. So now the next thing we have to do now is to cut out facing for the front and the back. Yeah. So now I'll cut out this for the facing like this. And slit it also. Cut out the front facing. The next thing you have to do is to cut out the back facing. So now cut out the back facing also. So I'm done with the cutting of the back facing. Now I'll go to the sewing machine. I will let the front of the gown facing me, and the front of the facing will be facing the gown like this. I'll go and sew on 1/2 inches round. I'll do the same thing also on the front of this gown. Guys, I'm done with the sewing of the facing. You can see after sewing it, I give this a bit of lunge. Now I'll turn this to the back. You can see how it is now when I turn it to the back, and I'll give this a good press. I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be joining the front and the back together at the shoulder on 1/2 inches. So now let me join this and show you what it looks like. Guys, I'm done with the sewing of the facing. You can see after sewing it, I give this a bit of lunge. Now I'll turn this to the back. You can see how it is now when I turn it to the back, and I'll give this a good press. I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be joining the front and the back together at the shoulder on 1/2 inches. Okay guys, I'm done with the joining of the shoulders. Now we'll do that turn up sleeve. You open the kimono gown like this. You can see the way it is. Now I would be joining this. I cut this strip on 2.5 inches. You can see it's 2.5 inches. So now I'll be sewing this from the back of the sleeve like this on 1/2 inches. Hey guys, I'm done with the joining of the strap to the sleeve. You can see how it is. This is the front. I sew it at the back of the kimono sleeve. Now we'll turn this to the front like this. You can see this is how it will look. After giving this a good press, I will join the sides on 1 inches. So guys, we are done with this gown. I've folded the hem of the gown and I add fringe at the gown also. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you all. See you guys on my next video. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. Sim by Sarah. God bless you.